and happening right now. Leadership from the Train Engineer Union are speaking. Let's take a listen in.
Do a little better than they have. So that's all we're really asking for here. And we hope this is not a long strike. I was around for the 1983 strike. I've seen what that was like. It was a prolonged strike, and nobody wins out of that. The best thing we can do is get New Jersey Transit to get us back to the table. Presently, we do not have any negotiations scheduled to sometime on Sunday. We're waiting for the National Mediation Board to set up the time for that. But we are willing at any time, if they want to come back and give us a counter for what we did, let's get this over with.
Are you really that far apart?
We didn't think we were. We thought we had a deal until they came in and pulled the rug out from underneath us.
Can you go into any way what NJ Transit is offering? They're saying they're offering 10 cents less an hour than LIWR. Does that add up to you?
Well, I'll put it this way. They're telling you the truth and lying to you at the same moment. Long Island Railroad, who I also help represent, has not had a contract in 3 years. So the pay rate is 3 years behind. And the contract that they are offering us, the pay rate, would be 2 years from now. So now there's a 5-year gap again in the contract. So yeah, they are offering us the money. They're offering us 3 years ago money 2 years from now.
What is your reaction when they say that the transit agency simply can't afford it because they can't afford to raise the fares?
If you just see their last budget meeting and all the monies that they put every other spot, we just seen them get 2 new boats here in the last couple of weeks. You know, I don't know why transit needs boats, but they find money for those other things. They found money for this building when the perfect building was around the corner and all the furnishings. They pay thousands of dollars a month for parking. I think they can afford just a little bit more. We got such a small gap that we're working on here. We got 460 engineers, but they move everybody here safely. They're the first ones that go to work in the morning and the last ones that get off the engine at night. And all we're asking for is to be fairly compensated.
Along the same lines, they said that this would cause bankruptcy. How do you respond to that?
If the little extra that we're asking for is causing bankruptcy, there's bigger problems than us.
Your response to claims that it's not responsible to pay New York wages who live and work in New Jersey.
Which I'll say to them, if you look over at Penn Station, you'll see PATH employees, you see Amtrak employees. They're right on the tracks right next to them, making up to 20% more an hour. They try to make this a New York, New Jersey thing. It's not. It's the regional thing. This is what engineers in this region make. And they're 20% behind here on New Jersey Transit.
Are you optimistic?
I'm always optimistic. I thought we were optimistic last night. We thought we had a deal. I'd love to get a call here and say, let's get upstairs and get this done. That's what we're waiting for, or we'll be waiting till the NMB tries to get us together, which we appreciate everything they've done over these last few years, and we hope that we can try to get this settled.
If the deal is reached on Sunday, how quickly will service be restored then? Is it Monday morning?
That'll be up in New Jersey Transit to decide when they can turn everything back on and get moving. But, I mean, if we get a deal going, we're going to tell our guys to go back to work.
Would that require a tentative deal to get you going or a hard deal you'll agree to?
No, if we get a tentative agreement, we will go back to work. Anything else?
How close are you?
We thought we had a deal last night. We were that close, but all of a sudden they said no.
How long are you all prepared to stay on the picket line?
Well, New Jersey Transit started to prepare us 5 years ago when we started this contract. You know, and we've talked to our engineers. We told them that this day may come. We didn't want it to come. We wanted to provide service for the customers and the passengers on New Jersey Transit. So, you know, our people are prepared.
What's your message to commuters today?
We thank them for their support. We're sorry for the inconvenience that's going on here. This is not something that the engineers take lightly. As people mentioned, I think it was 1983, the last strike. This is something we do not do. But it got to this point that we had to do something. And we're sorry that they're caught up in the middle here, and we want to get this over.
Quickly, anything we know between now and Sunday?
if New Jersey Transit wants to talk, we told them we're ready to go.
Can you help clear up? I want to try to cut through some of the confusion about what the salaries are and what the salaries need to be. So can you just give me in your own words, how much do New Jersey Transit engineers make on average, and how do you come to that figure?
From our calculations, unlike New Jersey Transit, is showing $130-some thousand a year. They're only giving you a percentage. They're only showing you approximately half of the locomotive engineers. They're not taking the whole group. If you take the whole group, they're just around 110, 113,000 a year is the average. And we showed that to them, and we showed that to the National Mediation Board. But they continue to keep on showing you basically a sheet with only the highest paid earners, but they don't talk about the ones that are basically just making a basic day. They try to call them part-time workers. There's no part-time workers as the locomotive engineers. You're here. A lot of these men are on an extra list working 7 days a week. They have no days off. They need to be compensated for that.
And I don't know if you've already touched on this, but could you talk about, when the comparison is made to the Long Island Railroad, what are your concerns about their contract status?
Their contract status, they're also in mediation. I have a meeting with the National Mediation Board next week, a status call. They've been 3 years without an agreement. Sadly, the Railway Labor Act prolongs, any type of job action like this to try to get a deal. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and this is what happens. We've never really got to this point, but yeah, we're concerned about Long Island also.
But what I mean by that is that you hear New Jersey Transit and the governor essentially say, listen, our current offer is 10 cents short of what LIRR makes. What say you to that?
As I said, they're correct, but they're not telling you that the wages that they're offering you is wages from 3 years ago. And they are offering that wage to us 2 years from now. So you got a 5-year gap in wages, so yeah, this is the wage back here. We're going to give it here, but we're going to give it to you 2 years from now.
Sir, so you're not going to stop them? You guys are not going to go back?
I'm sorry?
So you guys are not going to work? The trains are not going to be retired like the governor asked to do unless they gave you the salary you requested? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're trying to, we are here working together. Our memberships are united here. We're getting support from a lot of the other unions that know the cause, because they know that the fight that we're doing today is their fight tomorrow.
So this is indefinite until
I'm sorry, I'm having
this is going to be indefinite.
We're indefinite until we can finally get New Jersey Transit to come back to the table again. That's all we're asking for. We were willing to keep on going last night. We had 2 more hours before the deadline. They decided it was more important to do the news conference than to stay at the table.
Back to what you were saying about Long Island Railroad, is it possible that they won't join smoke?
No, they won't. No.
The governor has suggested that we ought to consider what's happening with SEPTA as what could happen if we are too generous with salaries and benefits for New Jersey engineers. How do you respond to that?
SEPTA, right now, if we're always the lowest paid, they're in the same boat that New Jersey Transit engineers are on. I also represent the SEPTA engineers. If they would even got the agreement, SEPTA now will be the lowest paid. So I don't take that with much grain of salt. He's not giving you the truth.
But what he's saying is that, in his viewpoint, the governor is saying if we are too generous, then we could be in a fiscal situation similar to SEPTA. And I don't think you agree with that.
No, I do not.
Why don't you?
Because what we've watched, the spending that they have done here on transit, if they were that concerned about spending, they wouldn't be in this building. They'd be 2 blocks away where they were and remodel a building that they remodeled during COVID. They wouldn't be having to spend the extra money for parking that they were spending before over here, and all the furnishings that they had to put into this building. So when you're looking at a small wage increase for 450 engineers, no, I don't agree with that.
So you don't think they have to increase the tariffs for the passenger in order to get you the salary?
No, we're so close. I can't picture that being as an issue.
Can you share exactly what the last
The one thing we did say was we will keep the offers quiet between ourselves at the moment, and we wouldn't even put it out into the public until we talk to our membership, so we need to respect that.
I don't know whether it was you or someone had mentioned some of the concessions that the union was willing to offer, and I don't, not necessarily the specifics, but part of what isn't getting talked about is that the riders continually have complaints about service, and I wonder how the union thinks about what they're offering and whether it could make service better.
What we offered in some of the concessions that were spoke about last night were some changes in health and welfare to help the company save money. That's why I don't feel that some of the things that Governor Murphy said, maybe he was not informed on what was going on at the bargaining table. The issues on some of them were some work rules that we had to try to help the carrier in some areas, but I don't, you know, the problems with New Jersey Transit goes a lot farther than locomotive engineers.
But if these salaries get too high, could we see fare increases? Could we see service cuts?
We're not looking, as everybody thinks, to be par with these engineers. We're just trying to get a step forward. We're not looking for the whole 20%. We just want to try to get within the ballpark. So no, I don't see that.
What do you think is getting missed? What in this whole debate that you think needs to be underscored from the union side?
That all we're looking for is a fair contract for our members. It's, as I said, 5 years I think is enough for them. They just want to be treated like their peers are.
What are they going through right now? I mean, in other words, they're now, you know, their lives are being disrupted right now. I don't know if you want to humanize them for us.
Yeah, they are. It's the uncertainty. When are you going to come back to work? What's going to go on? You know, how you know, all the. You're right. All the uncertainties, and all we can just tell is, you know, we're together as a group right now. There's a reason that maybe 160 plus years ago they called us a brotherhood, because that's what we are, a brother and sisterhood, and we're working to helping each other.
Who do you think the public is siding with right now?
Oh, I can't believe the support that we have got from the customers and the public here. You don't have to be here more than 5 minutes to see the support that we're getting. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Do you mind telling me your name again?
Yes. James.
Can we hear that?
Yeah. James Lewis, Louis. I'm the National Vice President.
And you have been listening to union members speaking on the ongoing NJ Transit strike from the New Jersey headquarters. Our transit strike coverage continues all morning. We'll help you navigate all of the changes, and we do have a section on our website with all of the alternate routes, park and rides, and a look at which stations will cross on our tickets, plus how some Metro North commuters could be impacted. It's all there for you on CBSNewYork.com.